All right, this is going to be a walk around and general description video of the 1989 BMW 320i Touring that I have for sale on Bring a Trailer. So first thing I do want to say is that I am going to be writing up a description and posting that description in the comments when the auction goes live. So if you have, any questions about it, please go ahead and check that first comment first. I'll be as transparent as possible and really write up everything that I can think of about the car. Really, to put it simply, I just love this car. I've owned it for about a year and a half. In that year and a half, it has been my daily driver. And for me, this car in particular is just peak classic BMW. I've let a bunch of friends use it. Everybody is always just so amazed at how tight this thing is and how well it drives. I'm really only selling it because I've since decided that it's just a little too nice for me to keep dailying, especially here in Seattle where it rains a lot. And I also have a BMW 2002 that has been with me for 7 or 8 years. And, as a weekend car to enjoy, I kind of drive the 2002 more just because it has that family history. So the story with this car is that it was originally imported from Italy. Once it was imported, it spent some time down in LA. And then back in 2020, my friend here in Seattle bought it and had it shipped up. I had always really been looking for an E30 Touring. I just loved the way they looked. I really wanted one to daily drive. And when I saw this one, I basically said, if you ever want to sell this car, please let me know because I will buy it. 2022 came around and I bought this in around May of 2022. And like I said, I've been daily driving it since. A few key things to know about this car is that the past 3 owners have really been BMW enthusiasts, so it's been taken really, really good care of. Cosmetically, it's not perfect, but mechanically, it just drives fantastic and it's so tight. This one is a pretty unique and pretty cool spec because it's the Italian 2-liter M20. So it's not the 2.5 liter straight 6, it's the 2 liter straight 6. It's a 5-speed manual transmission, and it's also factory manual steering, manual sunroof, manual windows, and no AC. So it really is pretty much the most enthusiast BMW spec car that you can get. It's really pretty incredible. Big thing to note on this is that within the past 10,000 miles, it has over $11,000 worth of work between me, the previous owner, who is my friend, and then the owner down in LA. The 3 of us really just spared no expense in making sure it was going to be good for daily driving. And the key things to highlight there are a Momo steering wheel, a Renstall shift knob with a short shifter kit, these beautiful E30 sport seats which have been recovered. I don't think I have the receipt for that. And then mechanically, it had a transmission out, so it had new clutch. Clutch just generally looked over, short shift kit put in. It had a timing belt and water pump, as well as a valve job and new radiator, new cooling hoses, and then new suspension all around. So this car is sitting on H&R Sport Springs with Bilstein B8s. We did new control arms in the front, new bushings pretty much everywhere. It has also had new sunroof seals, the headliner out and recovered. It's had all of the window seals checked and replaced when necessary. New Ireland Engineering stainless exhaust, Continental Bluetooth head unit, and keyless entry. And I'm sure I'm forgetting some stuff, but this car has just been really, really well taken care of. And just so much money has been spent making sure that it's going to be good and reliable. One thing that I don't have a receipt for, but I did do, is it does have new glass in the headlights and fog lights. It also has new bulbs all around. And, I didn't change it out for LEDs or HIDs. I just bought the best halogen bulbs that I could, and you can really tell because it's just so bright at night and there are really no issues seeing it all. The glass overall just looks incredible. So like I said, it drives great. There are some flaws with this one, and I'll do my best to go through and highlight everything. Again, I will be putting some stuff in the first comment as well as photos of every flaw that I can find. The wheels, I should mention, are Borbet Type B wheels that have been refinished with pretty much brand new Yokohama tires. Really, really, really great setup. I just love the way they look and the way they feel. Okay, so now going over some of the flaws. Moving to the interior. Overall, it looks pretty good, but there are just some kind of cracks here and there. So there is a crack right there on the dash. Moving around here, there's another crack right up there. Hopefully you can see that. There's just some general cracking on some of the interior plastics, like this little door lock has a crack through it. Over here, this, I think you can see that, this door handle surround has a crack in it. This manual sunroof is missing the knob. I've been looking around for one, I haven't been able to find one. There is this right here, just kind of a scuff or a mark in the sun visor. As you can see, this is the new headliner. What other flaws do we have? Sometimes the emergency brake boot doesn't stay down all the way, but I do have another one if you want to replace it. This seat back here is starting to get worn. I've never really used the back seats in this, so I've always just kind of put a blanket over it and it's been fine. One of the biggest flaws in this car is that the hatch at some point was replaced. I don't know why. I don't have a record of it from either of the previous owners. You can kind of tell. I think you can see there. You can see where the old badge was. That was just kind of painted over. Let that Corvette go by. And then if you open up the hatch, this is actually blue. So at some point, a blue hatch was taken and then repainted and then added to this car. Going through the trunk, I have a lot of the receipts for this. You can see a big folder full of receipts here. You can see a big folder full of receipts here. That's gonna make up mostly that $11,000 in work that I was talking about. And let me close this down. All right, looking around again at some of the flaws. Let's see what we can find. Some scuffs on the rear bumper. One right here on this corner. And if you come around again, one right here on this corner. Again, not sure what happened. That was before my ownership. Moving to the front, we have a kind of very vague scuff on the fender right above the front driver's wheel. We also have a chip in that front left corner. That one did happen during my ownership. I don't know what happened. I just kind of walked out and saw it one day. It was probably just a piece of road debris. Was very sad when that happened, and that was actually one of the reasons why I decided probably not best for daily driver. Moving around here, if you go on the inside, we have a puncture in the passenger door card right there. I'll just put my finger up right there, passenger door card. Just give you a view of the interior here. Overall, really, really nice condition, great driver condition. Moving to the sunroof, this is a very rust-free car. You'll see the underside photos, really no rot or anything to speak of. There is a little bit of a paint bubble in the sunroof on this side. And then if you move around, there's going to be a little bit of a paint bubble on this side as well. At some point I was planning on getting that sunroof just, sanded down and repainted, but for my daily driver case, it was never really worth it. Windshield, looks like we have a little bit of a chip right here. Very, very small. I don't even think you could fill that. And then I think on this side, yep, right here, we have another little chip as well. All right, looking through this. Mechanically, you know, there will be some flaws here and there. It's an older BMW, so you'll see in the underside photos that we'll let this truck go by. Hey. But you will see that the engine, transmission, and diff probably all seep a little bit of oil. If it sits for a really long time, you might see a drop, you know, on your garage floor. Again, it was never bad enough for me to replace it. Looking under the dash, there is supposed to be a panel that goes under the dash to cover all that wiring. I've been looking around for a spare panel. I haven't been able to find one. It just connects with a couple screws. So I would keep your eyes open for one of those. I think the other big flaw with this car is if you open the hood, you will see that the hood liner is pretty dry and starting to get cracked. So I would replace the hood liner at some point. Again, I never really got around to it, but that's definitely a project that could be done right away. Again, doesn't affect drivability. This thing drives awesome. I would drive it across the country in a heartbeat. But you know, a few things here and there. Not every car is perfect. The only other thing I can think of is the windshield wiper washer. I don't think pumps. I've never really used it, to be honest, but I do think I tried it the other day and I don't remember it working. So keep that in mind. But yeah, this is such an awesome car. I'm really hoping we can find a good home for it. Please read that first comment to get the write-up on this and all the flaws and everything I can think of. You know, I've loved owning this. I'm really sad to see it go, but I hope we find a good next owner for it. So thank you all.